Hello everyone, I'm Terry Nealey, your 16th District State Representative. Thank you for joining me on Legislative Update. The recent tragedy at the Monroe Reformatory has placed a brighter spotlight on the dangerous jobs our corrections officers face on a daily basis. It's important that they have the tools necessary to keep them safe and laws in place that help deter violent actions against them. Last year, after meeting with correctional officers from the state penitentiary in Walla Walla, I introduced legislation to provide an extra tool to prevent assaults against them. The bill would have allowed money to be deducted from an inmate's wages, gratuities, or workers' compensation benefits if they assault a corrections officer. Time ran out in the 2010 session before we could move this legislation forward. So I reintroduced the measure again this year. It is House Bill 1334. We know that giving prisoners who already have lengthy sentences a longer time to serve for engaging in assault is not as effective as hitting them directly in the pocketbook. Inmates are compensated for working within the prison walls, but they don't make very much money. Already in place in law is a formula of deductions that mandate how inmates' money can be used according to his or her obligations. Money is withheld to satisfy child support payments, pay for incarceration, provide a percentage to the state general fund, and satisfy any legal financial obligations owed to the court. Those priorities would continue to be paid. The bill I am proposing would also set aside between 15% to 20% of earnings from inmates who have assaulted an officer. The officers from Walla Walla told me that other states which have used this law have found it very effective as a deterrent against inmate assaults on prison guards. The measure passed the House Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Committee on February 1st. Right now the bill is sitting in the Rules Committee, awaiting action to place it on the floor calendar for a vote by the full House. We want to make sure our correctional officers remain safe. This is another tool to ensure that goal. While public safety remains one of my top priorities in the legislature, another priority is getting people back to work in our state. We have more than 325,000 people still out of work in Washington, and these numbers are about the same as a year ago. Very little has been done to improve our state's job outlook. How do we improve Washington's economy and get people working again? There are several ways, but here in the legislature we need to reduce government costs and regulations on private employers so they can free up resources to hire again. It's been very difficult for employers to keep their heads above water when they are saddled with double-digit workers' compensation premium increases and then paying exorbitant unemployment insurance rates. Several days ago, the House of Representatives approved a compromise agreement on the unemployment insurance issue. The bill we passed would reduce unemployment insurance rates by about 34%, saving employers about $300 million. The bill provides for additional training benefits. As part of the compromise, it uses federal money to temporarily increase and extend unemployment benefits by $25 a week from March 6th until November 3rd. While the benefits are temporary, the tax reductions for employers are permanent. And that's where our focus should be, on giving employers the breathing room they can create jobs. The measure has been sent to the Senate. I expect they will pass it and send it to the governor for her signature. Last time I was on this program, I told you about the legislation I am sponsoring that would bring nuclear energy into the conversation of a future energy plan for Washington State. The measure I've introduced, House Bill 1513, would create a 9-member joint legislative task force to study the potential for expanding nuclear energy in Washington. A hearing was scheduled on the bill in the House Technology, Energy, and Communications Committee, but later was canceled. Apparently, the committee chair wants to look at this issue much further in depth before opening it up for a public hearing. So while I'm disappointed with the cancellation, the chair has agreed to schedule it for a work session in the next few weeks. I've also received much positive feedback on this bill. As always, I appreciate your thoughts and comments. I invite you to get more information from my website. You'll see the address on your screen. Thank you for joining me on Legislative Update. I'm your State Representative, Terry Nealey.